Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasani Balachandra.
A very good evening to you. I'm Dishan Virakon, and we start off by taking a look at your headlines for tonight. Another batch of 2.4 million doses of COVID control vaccines to the island. Island-wide raids on oximeters not conforming to standards. The Pharmaceutical Drugs Corporation says that there is no shortage of medicines in the country. Once again, an increase in daily corona infections in India. District Development Committee Chairman says some groups protest over the Parakrama Samudra project due to their lack of understanding. Retaliatory US attacks on terrorists who attacked the Kabul airport.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail. Dr. Prasanna Gunasena has clarified on the COVID inoculation program, which is being carried out continuously in parallel to the COVID control program.
Currently, Sri Lanka is at a very crucial moment in our vaccination program. As we know, we have planned to vaccinate initially above 30, then above 18, and our immunization program has decided at some point we need to vaccinate school children also. So in that context, we know that we have to vaccinate about 17.5 million population in Sri Lanka, and for that we need about 35.5 million vaccinations as double doses. And so far we have got here in Sri Lanka about 22 million vaccines, and we need another 13 million doses to complete our vaccination, and that is in the pipeline. In the month of September, we get another 8 million vaccines Sinopharm, and in October, we are getting 4 million doses of Pfizer vaccine, and with that, we can complete the total vaccination program without any problem. So the important fact that we need to consider at this point is, even though we vaccinate, the total immunization of the population comes 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks after completion of the second dose. During this period, we know that everybody in this country, especially the people who have long-term comorbidities, does not have the complete immunization or complete full ability to cope with the virus. Therefore, we need to go very slow during this period, avoiding crowded places. Be careful with when you are associating with people so that you could get this illness to you until we get the full immunization and ability to cope with the virus. So it will take at least another 2 to 3 weeks, that we are thinking about early October. So until early October, our population, even though we have vaccinated, are slightly vulnerable to these new variants. So until such time, we request our population, first thing is to go and get the vaccine as quickly as possible, because the vaccine is available adequately in various places, but certain technical difficulties may cause some delays, but adequate numbers of vaccinations are coming. Therefore, you need to contact your health authorities in the local vicinity and get your vaccination. And once you get the vaccination, make sure that you get the complete vaccination by the second dose. And even after taking the second dose, you need to be careful not to go into the public places or go into a place where you can get the virus until you get the complete immunization, that is 2 weeks after completion of the second dose. Even after completion of the second dose, I think it's the advice given by the WHO also to be ready to live in a new normal standards, where avoid crowded places and stick to the COVID control mechanisms, wear the face mask, wash our hands, keep away in the crowded populations until this pandemic is completely controlled or we get the herd immunity in the community, so that we are out of danger of getting into trouble with this illness.
The United States and Sri Lanka have worked closely together to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic since its outset. The American people have donated over 1.6 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine since March of this year. The U.S. through USAID has provided over funds amounting to $50 million to Sri Lanka's COVID response and recovery, including 200 portable ventilators. It has also been reported that all these assistance grants and loans have reached millions of people in all 25 districts and 9 provinces in Sri Lanka. The USAID included provision of life-saving treatment, strengthening of clinical care, and mobilizing of critical supplies to reduce transmission, bolster response and recovery.
In the meantime, Chairman of the State Pharmaceutical Drugs Corporation, Dr. Prasanna Gunasena, says that there is no shortage of drugs in the country. He further says that there is no truth in the rumors being propagated regarding shortages in 40 types of drugs. Dr. Prasanna Gunasena said that there is no shortage whatsoever in 40 types of drugs in the country. He further said that adequate quantities of 20 out of 40 varieties of drugs remain in the medical supplies division. The remaining 20 types of medicines are not essential. He added that, however, a somewhat shortage prevails in the 500 milligram capacity of 10 types of drugs, the reason being the lack of suppliers. However, the 250 milligram contents of the same drugs is available. A shortage exists in only 10 types out of 1,200 types of medicines. The government spends around 50 billion rupees for the importation of these medicines. The government bears expense between 120 to 30 million rupees to provide drugs free of charge to the people. Now, the Food and Drug Inspector of the Southern Province, K.G. Jayaratna, says that around 250 low-quality oximeters were apprehended today. These machines were detected in 42 pharmacies in Galle and surrounding areas. The National Drug Regulatory Authority says that conducting of island-wide raids to apprehend inferior quality oximeters have commenced today based on public complaints. The National Drug Regulatory Authority says legal action will be taken against the errant pharmacy owners.
Chairman of the Polonnaruwa District Development Committee, Parliamentarian Amarkirti Atukorla, says that certain groups are expressing their opposition to the Lake Bund development project of Parakrama Samudra without realizing the accurate facts. The MP points out that the project would pave the way to receive solutions to many problems. The lake bund of the Parakrama Samudra, built by King Parakrama Bahu in ancient times, has been reconstructed on several locations. The narrowness of the path on the bund has posed many problems relating to vehicle traffic. Several accidents have been reported, and even pedestrians have no proper road access. The proposal to develop the bund was approved at the District Development Committee meeting upon several field inspections. All pertinent institutions, including the Department of Archaeology, the Polonnaruwa Municipal Council, the Department of Irrigation, the Department of Wildlife, the Provincial Road Development Authority and the District Secretariat have endorsed the proposal. The plan has been prepared by versatile geological architect Sampath Jaivira. However, a group including the Mahasangha have arrived at the location of construction and engaged in a protest. As a result, the work has been temporarily suspended. Similar development projects are being implemented at major reservoirs in the island. Camera shots have clearly illustrated the damages have not been caused to the beauty or the strength of the tank bunds as a result of these construction projects. However, several opposition groups have pointed out that protests are being launched without actually realizing the true facts. Former UNP Polonnaruwa District Parliamentarian Nalika Kolanna has posted an entry in his Facebook saying that the project would have to be appreciated without any political party differences. He further says that the tank bund has been subjected to threats of collapse due to the severity of water flow in the Parakrama Samudra. Several social media sites have also focused special attention on this issue. They point out that if the protesters really love the reservoir, they should have objected to the throwing of polythene plastic refuse to the lake. The website also adds that those who have snatched the electric bulbs operated through solar panels fitted at the reservoir should return them to the Polonnaruwa Municipal Council.
Now, 2.3 million doses of the Sinopharm vaccine and a stock of Pfizer vaccines were brought to the island from the Katunayake International Airport today. The 2 million doses of the Chinese-manufactured Sinopharm vaccine ordered by the government include the 300,000 doses provided to the Sri Lankan security forces by the People's Republic of China. The aircraft UL-869 of the Sri Lankan Airlines carried the stock of the Sinopharm vaccines from the Beijing airport in China today. The batch of vaccines to be used for the security forces were handed over to Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunratne by the Defence Advisor and Senior Colonel Van Dong of the Chinese Embassy in Sri Lanka. The bringing of the vaccines is the outcome of a request made by Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunratne from Chinese Defence Minister General Wei Yenghe during the minister's official Sri Lankan tour in April of this year. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva, Navy Commander Vice Admiral Nishanta Ulugethanna and Chief of Staff of Air Force Air Vice Marshal Prasanna Payo were present at the ceremony to hand over the stock of vaccines.
I think the donation of 300,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines is an important part of the effort for us to support the Sri Lankan people, especially the Sri Lanka Armed Forces, to fight against this COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm sure today we are gathering here to show the solidarity, and we are together through these hard times, and I'm sure we will win this battle, okay? And Sri Lankan people and Chinese people, we've been enjoying long-standing relationship together, and this relationship is growing stronger through these difficult times.
A stock of 100,000 doses of the US-manufactured Pfizer vaccine gifted to Sri Lanka has also reached the island at dawn today. The stock brought by aircraft EK648 of Emirates Airlines was officially handed over to Minister Dr. Keheli Ramukwella by the US Ambassador in Sri Lanka, Elena Teplitz, at the ambassador's residence today. The minister, extending his gratitude over the contributions, said that the US assistance to Sri Lanka during this crucial period is immeasurable. He further said that Sri Lanka is taking measures to fully inoculate the people in the country by the end of the year. Under the COVID immunization program, 19,163,620 Sri Lankans have been inoculated. The first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine has been provided to 10,308 persons yesterday. 602 persons have also received the second dose of the same vaccine. The number of those who have received the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine was at 22,551. The second dose has also been inoculated on 210,810 persons yesterday. 702 persons have also been administered with the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine yesterday. The second dose of the same vaccine has been provided to 31,758 persons. 40,065 persons have also received the second dose of the Moderna vaccine yesterday. 3,764 COVID-19 infected persons have been detected in the country today. Meanwhile, 2,203 fully cured patients have left the hospitals today. Minister Bandula Gunawardena has recorded the statement in his Facebook account saying that he was afflicted with a COVID-19 disease. The minister says that this was confirmed upon conducting of a rapid antigen test on him following confirmation that several officials in his staff were infected with the COVID-19 disease. The quarantine curfew will be implemented till 4 a.m. on the 6th of next month. Operations are being conducted continuously island-wide to apprehend those who violate the curfew. There are 13 roadblocks in the Western Province. The economic centres remain open today as well for wholesale trade.
The State Ministry of Home Affairs says that 2,038,530 families deprived of livelihood as a result of the imposition of the quarantine curfew are entitled to receive the 2,000 rupee allowance. It further says that the allowances have already been provided to 575,520 eligible families. The allowance is being paid through the intervention of officials attached to district secretariats and divisional secretariat division officers. 376,531 families in the Colombo district are to be handed over the allowance under the first stage of the program. The number of families in the Gampaha district qualified to receive the allowance is 345,847. 55,425 families in the Kaluthara district will also be provided with the 2,000 rupee allowance. In the Kandy district, 137,475 families will receive the allowance. 107,677 families in the Kurunegala district and 107,291 families in the Ratnapura district respectively will also be given the allowance. The number of families in the Gaul district to receive the allowance is 38,269 and 66,476 in the Hambantota district.
Now, a raid has been conducted in the Anuradhapura district yesterday to apprehend shops which sell paddy without any registration approval of the Consumer Affairs Authority. Around 800,000 kilos of paddy prepared to be sold without proper approval were taken into custody by the Consumer Affairs Authority on this occasion. Paddy harvesting has commenced in the Anuradhapura district. The culprit shops were reported to have sold stocks of paddy purchased from farmers to intermediate trade centres without leaving any room for purchasing by the government paddy purchasing centres. These shops were also reported to be functioning without being registered under the Consumer Affairs Authority. The search operations have been conducted in Tammutegama, Ikiriyavawa, Rajangane, Track 6 and Angamoa. The authority has taken measures to release the shops which have expressed willingness to sell the paddy stocks to the Paddy Marketing Board and also to take legal action and sealing of other shops which were unwilling to sell their stocks to the PMB. Similar raids were also being conducted yesterday in Valikanda, Sevanapitiya, Aralganvilla and LA Weber in the Polonnaru district by the officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority. Nearly 400,000 kilos of paddy about to be sold without proper permission have also been apprehended during the search operation. It has been decided to file cases against 5 of the offending shops and to seal 2 of their paddy storages.
Marathon runner D.I. Anurasiri has tested his body strength and capability on his 60th birthday. A report from Galin Bindunavava says that he was on a marathon run to see his mother on his birthday. Anurasiri came 4th among contestants from 36 countries at the Veteran Athletics Meet in Singapore in 2015. He has also snatched the silver medal at the Open Veterans Athletics Meet in Thailand in 2019. It took him 1.5 hours to cover a distance of 18 kilometers to reach his mother's residence.
Now, the Department of Immigration and Immigration says that the visa fees and fines have been revised. Accordingly, a foreigner staying in Sri Lanka without a valid visa will be charged $500 penalty in addition to the visa fee. The new immigration and immigration regulations comes into effect through an extraordinary Gazette notification. However, the clergy, Sri Lankan citizens, a married person and children depending upon non-Sri Lankan spouse are being exempted from new visa charges. Under the first category of resident visa, investors, employees, students, recipients of medicinal treatments, non-governmental institution representatives, religious workers and the spouses and dependent children of the above persons are being subjected to an annual visa charge of $200. For any person whose citizenship of Sri Lanka has been seized, their spouses and dependent children are liable to pay an annual tax of $100. Any person who has been registered as an Indian national under Section 13 of the Indo-Ceylon Agreement, their spouses and dependent children are also being subjected to an annual visa fee of $100. For visas on South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation countries, a fee of $20 is being levied for the first 30 days. Upon arrival, a $25 charge will be made. A charge of $35 is being levied for visa for any country other than a SAARC country for the first 30 days. Upon arrival, a $40 charge will be imposed. For the United States of America, there is a visa charge exemption from 90 to 180 days. For Singapore, the Maldives, the Seychelles and the Czech Republic, a 30 to 90-day visa exemption has been imposed. For countries other than the US, a $150 charge is been levied from the 90 to 180 days. For any other country, there is a visa charge of $200 from 180 to 270 days. The communique of the Department of Immigration and Immigration adds that the visa charge for US from 30 to 180 days is $100. For other countries, the visa charge on business category for 30 to 90 days is $100. The business category visa charge for America from 90 to 180 days is $200. Other countries have been exempted from online visa charges. Further information could be obtained from the website of the head office of the Department of Immigration and Immigration. It has also been reported that the tourist visa period could be extended upon entering the website.
A program has commenced in the Murugahakanda zone to manufacture 10,000 tons of organic fertilizer needed for cultivation in the Maha season of 2021-2022. Plans are underway to produce 1 ton of organic manure in the home gardens of every farmer in the zone. The objective is to fulfill the organic fertilizer requirement in the Mahavali farmlands in the Murugahakanda zone. Accordingly, a program aimed on an output of 4,500 tons of organic fertilizer through joint collaboration of 33 farmer organizations in the Bakamuna Galmulla unit has got underway yesterday. The work is being carried out under the supervision of the Sri Lanka Mahavali Authority and agricultural research officials. State Minister Siripala Gamlath was among the group of officials present on this occasion. An extremely prosperous home garden cultivated utilizing only organic fertilizer is located in Naivala, Veyangora. The special feature of this home garden plot is the cultivation of almost all local varieties of fruits. In addition, all types of vegetables needed for daily consumption are found in this home garden. Foreign news on the other side of this break.
බුද්ධිමත් ඇගේ තීරණය ප්‍රීමා ස්ටෙලා අපි හැමෝම කැමති.
Welcome back. Now in foreign news, taking a look at the status quo in Afghanistan. The last British flight evacuating civilians from Afghanistan left Kabul today, bringing to an end an operation that has airlifted almost 15,000 Afghan and British citizens in the 2 weeks since the Taliban took control. The United States forces helping to evacuate Afghans desperate to flee Taliban rule were on alert on Saturday for more attacks after an ISIL-affiliated suicide bombing killed at least 175 people. 13 US service members and 162 Afghans died in the attack outside Kabul airport. Hundreds of displaced Afghan families seeking food and shelter took hold first talks with the Taliban in Kabul. The Afghan minister, who became a bicycle courier in Germany, veteran group says it moved 630 Afghans to Kabul airport. The unmanned airstrike occurred in the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. Initial indications are that we killed the target. Captain Bill Urban of the US Central Command said in a statement, "We know of no civilian casualties." Thursday's attack was claimed by an ISIL offshoot in Afghanistan, the Islamic State in Khorasan province. The development comes as the US forces helping to evacuate Afghans desperate to flee Taliban rule issued an alert on Saturday of possible attacks at Kabul airport. The US believes that there are still specific credible threats against the airport after the deadly bombings.
An Afghan woman on board an evacuation flight to Britain's Birmingham delivered her baby on board. Turkish Airlines said in a statement that Soman Nuri, a 26-year-old, was on board the Turkish Airlines flight from Dubai when she began having contractions. The cabin crew helped Nuri deliver the baby as the plane flew at an altitude of 10,000 meters in Kuwaiti airspace. The baby was named Hawa and was in good condition. The plane landed in Kuwait as a precaution but later continued on to its destination, Turkish Airlines said.
Well, that's a wrap of tonight's Primetime News Bulletin here at Rupavahini Channel I, and until we meet again next time, do take care, stay safe and good night.
Good night.